Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to do a quick update on the Chaperon. No, it hasn't been a long time since I did the last update. Wow, I just noticed this railing's down a little bit, but sorry, squirrel. Okay, so what I was saying is hasn't been a long time, been about a week since the last update, but I've gotten a lot done. As you can see, I've got the Texas sitting on here, and you saw the lights flicker when I touched it. That's because the Texas is, while it's hooked up electrically, it's not soldered yet. I've got the pilot house sitting up here and the roof. So let me go ahead and switch cameras and disconnect the electricity so I can show you what's going on with the Texas and the pilot house, which are the main things that I've worked on in the last week. So I will be right back. Okay, so I've disconnected it, just sat it back on there. First, we're going to talk about the pilot house. So the pilot house, what I did was use bubble pack from artwork models that I'm doing. And you can see it's in there. What I did was I sanded it down because I don't want you to be able to see through it. I just wanted it shaded. Pilot house is done. Turns out after I looked at the instructions, which were not very clear, these sides should have been on the seam here where these are attached, should have been the other direction. Nothing I can do about it now. You can see that I've got the two brass photo etch pieces painted white. They were painted white when I painted the rest of the photo etch. These are actually going to be tie downs for the pilot house. You know, tie it down to the top of the Texas. They're glued on, and I don't remember if I mentioned this in the last video. I don't think I did. I think I mentioned it on the stream maybe. But when you do the pilot house, if you put the roof on the way they say to, actually, yeah. If you put the roof on exactly the way they say to, there's the hole for the chimney for the stove up there, and it's right in the doorway. I do not like the way that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn it over and around, because I've looked at some of my reference pics, and the reference pictures show the smokestack for the fireplace coming through the middle of this window, which is pretty close to where this is going to end up when I put the roof on. Roof is nowhere near ready to go on yet. I've got to get the light in here, get it tied down, and then not sure if I'm going to add the hatch. I am going to add the whistle, which will be somewhere up in here. Pilot house is very close to being done. I love the laser etching on there. On the model that was professionally built, they actually painted that. I'm not even going to try. It does have it wood, but then it's got the letters are red. I don't know if they used paint or if they used ink. I am not good enough with either. So that's, it's not going to get, it's not going to be colored. And you might be able to see, let me turn it around. There's a slant here. This is actually, this point here is lower than this point here. And that's because the roof of the Texas is curved as well. So let me show you that. You can see a pretty steep slant here. Still got to do the brass photo etch railing on here. And you can see this is really well lit up, but it's a lot. There's a lot of lights in for this little piece. So you can see right here and here, I have SMDs. Same with here and here, basically on the same spot. And then this was a dark spot, so I decided to add a light back here. Not actually there in the, before the real ship burnt to the water line, they weren't actually there. I decided I wanted it. And then first we're going to talk about here. These two wires were just coming up from the next deck. I did the same thing on the deck below. This tape was just what was holding the wires down for the lighting on the Texas. But these wires are coming up from below on the set of strip just like this. I do this inside models when I gotta put a lot of wires into something. I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it, so I put some brass strip down, soldered the wires down to it. So basically, I have a return here, positive voltage all the way along here, kind of like bus bars in a circuit breaker box. So what I did then was I'll attach this, and I've made rat tails basically of the two circuits. Each one of these lights has its own wire running to it. So I got the rat tail here, positive and negative. The only one that doesn't have its own, only circuit that doesn't have its own line is the SMDs, because if the SMDs go out, it'll still, if it's single SMD, or not the SMDs, the strip lighting, if one of the SMDs on it goes out, it doesn't stop the flow of electricity through, and all of them will still work except for that one. You can see here, I bundled all the wires together. Those are the resistors for all the LEDs, the 5 LEDs on the outside, and I've pulled all the wires together. The only thing I've got left to do for the lighting here is, you can see where the pilot house is going to go. I'm going to put a piece of LED strip in there. I'm hoping it won't be too bright. Drop the wire down through. Then I can put the pilot. Well, once that's done, I'll tie the wires or the lights into this, the strip into these, solder this down, glue this down, and then I'll be ready to put on the pilot house. Also, since the last video, you can see I finished all the windows. I put the doors on. They're all painted. The windows are actually in the wall, not in the doors at all. So they're inset a little bit, and then did a whole stack of little 1/32 by 1/32 strips. The model shows these painted white. I think they look really cool the way they are here. And you can see where I actually drilled a hole and dropped the wire, or dropped the SMD in there. All in all, it's getting ready to come together completely. Let's see. Go ahead and see if I can slide it back a little bit. You can see I got my smokestacks ready to go on. Oh, and there's the LED strip. My smokestacks are ready to be attached, but not ready to go on yet, because there's a lot of work that's got to be done on them. Several rings. They say to use cardstock, bend it around it. I'm going to probably use brass for the brass wire for the rings. I have a ton of brass wire. The launches, people call them lifeboats. They're actually launches. They're serviceable. Those have got to go on still. Once they're on, I got to do the cranes and everything. Then the when the wheel goes on, I've got to run rigging from here through the post here. There's another post on the back. It's going to hold the wheel on. Let me see. These posts up here in the very front. That's not a very good picture. Hang on. Not that one either. There we go. If the camera will behave. Okay. So these posts all are going to be encompass the rigging. A lot done, a lot more to go. I would say I'm probably close to 2/3 of the way done, maybe 3/4. But it's a lot of it is just finish work, not figuring out how to do the lights, how to do this, how to do that. So it's coming along really good. I'm looking very much forward to getting getting her done so that I can actually get to work on other things, because right now this is the only thing other than Partworks that I'm working on. So set that last shot up similar to what I did last time. Hope you're enjoying this build. It's the 9th of December now. I'm shooting for the end of the year to have this one completed. Last video, I somehow lost track of the date. I was thinking it was November, and so I was going to start something else by the end of the year. I'm not going to start anything else by the end of the year. I'll be working this in Partworks only. It's come very close to being done with, that's one other thing. I did do the rails up here. I was missing these last rails, but it's been a long build. When I first started this, it was 2013, and then I put just the framework of the hull away for a long time because I was nervous about doing the planking. Planking actually came together really well, and I've got a lot more skills in the last 10 years and a lot more tools than I did when I did this before, when I started it. So that's it for this video. Hope you're enjoying the build. Hope you, if you do enjoy the build, leave me a comment. I always love to see comments. I try to respond to everyone. Like, subscribe, and come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. See what we're doing. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will talk to you on the next video.